Well, my next guest has been on the trail for Donald Trump, hoping to fire up a lot more excitement within the black community and secure those votes for the former president. Let's bring in Florida Republican Congressman Byron Donalds, serving as a surrogate for Donald Trump's campaign. Congressman, good to see you again.
Good to be with you.
All right. Polling in battleground states shows a razor-thin margins between Harris and Trump right now. Why do you think this race is so tight?
Well, look, I think it's a combination of things. Number one, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris did a terrible job with their 4 years in the White House. Number two, there are a lot of misconceptions about rhetoric and all these types of things in reference to Donald Trump. But at the end of the day, voters are going to make a decision between who did a better job, his administration or the Kamala Harris-Joe Biden administration. The reason why Republicans were surging through early voting based upon all the data available to us is because they want a return of Donald Trump to the White House, where our borders were secure and our economy worked for everybody. I think that's going to end up leading to the result we're going to see tonight, which is a Trump victory here in 2024.
Well, gender could be a defining issue of this election as well. And according to our polling, Harris has an 11-point advantage among women, while Trump had a 5-point advantage among men. Considering we're seeing the number of women voters surge, do you think Trump missed the mark with women?
No, I don't, actually, because a number of reasons. You know, we have a lot of females who are going to be voting for us. Why? Border security is majorly important to them. They don't want to see young girls continue to be victimized or killed by massive open borders. Kamala Harris doesn't speak to that at all. I think the other thing, if you're going to talk about the gender gap, polling has been all over the place. Not sure the one you're citing, but other polls have demonstrated that the gap between women and men actually favors Donald Trump in this election, because the male gap is bigger than the female gap, determining on who you're going to support. But at the end of the day, this is about the issues of facing our country. It's about leadership. The American people have seen that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have not done an adequate job leading this country. We're a nation in decline. That's why Donald Trump's going to win.
All right. Well, it was our ABC News Ipsos poll that showed that Harris had the 11-point advantage among women. But let me ask you a question. If the former president is doing so well with women, as you say, why doesn't he bring Nikki Haley out on the trail with him?
Why are we concerned about Nikki Haley? The campaign trail is now over. It's about the people in lines making sure their voice is heard. I would urge voters all across America, do not leave the lines. Make sure you have your vote cast. That's what matters now. Who shows up on the campaign trail here or there is irrelevant, because there's no more campaign stops. It's about the voters. And so hopefully a lot of these states get their votes counted quickly so the American people can get finality on the results of this election. We would love to know tonight, hopefully tomorrow, but we don't want this thing to be lingering out. Who showed up where doesn't really matter. And obviously, if Kamala Harris loses, and I believe she's going to lose, all the celebrities showing up, that's going to demonstrate that it does not matter at all. It's about your ability to get the job done for the American people.
But Congressman, I mean, Nikki Haley had a huge contingency of supporters. If she were to come out today when the race is so tight, are you saying that wouldn't help the former president win a race?
She's already come out. She wrote an op-ed the other day talking about Donald Trump was her choice and the right choice for the American people. She was at our convention making the same argument. She's done interviews making the same argument. Showing up at a rally and giving a speech isn't going to change that narrative. At the end of the day, people understand in our country, if you want a secure border, vote for Donald Trump. If you want to actually make money and not lose it to rapid inflation, vote for Donald Trump. Those are the facts that matter right now, not campaign stops.
All right. Well, Harris unveiled this comprehensive plan for black males that she's calling an opportunity agenda for black men. What can you tell us about Trump's plan to help the black community? And why are you telling other black men they should support Trump?
Well, first of all, her plan for black men was an absolute joke. When she first came out with it, she said she was going to give loans only to black men. Well, that's unconstitutional. She can't even do that. The centerpiece of her plan for black men was centered around marijuana. Excuse me, all black men don't sit around smoking marijuana. That's actually quite offensive. And so her economic plans are the ones that make no sense at all. They never made sense the second she started talking about them. Contrast that with Donald Trump. No tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security, having a tariff policy to actually bring companies to the United States so people can earn money. And then there's the reality of the Trump economy, where wages adjusted for inflation were rising rising. The wage gap between rich and poor was shrinking. The savings rate for Black Americans was the highest in the history of our country. Those are the things that Black men remember when Donald Trump was president, which is why you're seeing more Black men and Black women, for that matter, supporting Donald Trump today.
So do you think Donald Trump will accept the election results if they're not in his favor?
I think everybody at this point, whether it's Donald Trump, Jamie Raskin on the Democrat side of the aisle, we've all said the same things. As long as the elections are fair and everybody's following the rules, then there's no problem at all. What happened 4 years ago was that, yes, we had states and localities that were not following the rules of their elections, and that was wrong. Today, it looks like everybody's following the rules, so I think everything will be fine.
So Republicans hold 221 House seats to Democrats, 214 right now at this moment. But Democrats are making slight progress in the race for the House majority, and there is a chance they could take over. How are you preparing for that?
I'll deal with that tomorrow. Today is about the American people voting. We fully expect to keep the House of Representatives because we fully expect Donald Trump to win this presidential election. We'll deal with the fallout later, but our focus right now are the American people, making sure they make their voices heard. If you haven't voted already, please make sure you get out and vote. America needs the American people to weigh in on which way you want our country to go.
Congressman Byron Donalds, always fun to have an interview with you. That is for sure. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.